My mama told me when I was young, we were all born superstars. She rolled my hair and put my lipstick on in the glass of her boudoir. There's nothing wrong in loving who you are, she said, 'cause it made you perfect, babe. So hold your head up, girl, and you'll go far. Listen to me when I say, I'm beautiful in my way. God makes no mistakes. On the right track, baby, we should start the show. Ooh, Betty has got to go. Time to start the show. Baby, time to start the show.
Love, it has been good to me this time around. Things were they were bound to change when it was found. Sugar never tasted sweeter on my lips. My heart is now intact and I can find no ribs. This is love, yeah, love. Never known true love before. Seen so many counterfeits that left me on the floor. This is love, yeah, love. All will come to those who wait. Time it cannot know the bounds, and eras don't dictate.
Hello and welcome to today's episode of Xandermonium, the talk show that gets you talking. I'm Xander Gibb, and on today's show, I'll be getting on my soapbox just for a change. London Calling with Kristian, who sends the fabulous Soozi Chameleone to talk to performance artist Hayley. Also, Betty Chipmonk gives us her breakdown of what's hot and what's not in the town we like to call Tinsel and Watch This Space. And more of your questions if we have time in Ask Xander. More to come in a mere moment. So you can interact with me as per usual via Twitter. You can tweet me. My Twitter handle is @Xander Gibb, XanderGibb. Make sure you follow and keep up to date with what's going on with me, my show, and everything in the universe. Oh yes, indeed. And now it's time for Xander's Soapbox. It is no secret that I have evolved politically over the last few years, but sadly some have stayed chained to the bondage of liberalism and the lies attached to it. Now, whilst I never considered myself to be a liberal, whilst I was a Democrat, I was fraught with contradiction and control, and frankly I'd had enough of Obama's failed rhetoric and inability even to make anything truly lasting or different. So changing allegiances will never make you popular or enable you to be trusted easily. I mean, let's face it, I was viewed as too liberal to be conservative by my conservative friends, and clearly a total conservative by my liberal friends. Now, whilst I consider myself to be a conservative, in all honesty, I'm still just me trying to make a difference and make America a better place, to coin a phrase. Now, I always believed that this would only be achieved by left and right working together and forming a point to grow from based upon the things we agreed on. And division is only achievable by allowing our differences in opinion to tear through any chance of growth and development. Now, I do fundamentally believe some want there to be a divide and are too unreasonable, but most are thankfully not. Now, in the run-up to the presidential elections, things became very difficult for me politically once more, with the division within the GOP and in the country as a whole. Now, sadly, that grew, and uncertainty that ensued was palpable. That regardless of everything else, I do believe God is in control. And even with that fact and humanity being flawed, I believe we will get by. Now, the race ensued and it got down to 4, 2 on each side, and in all honesty, I didn't feel particularly warm and supported towards any of the candidates. Oh no, siree. I don't think I could ever support a Democrat in office again. I mean, look at the mess Obama's made of the USA in less than 8 years. His policies were quick fixes and his promises constantly failed. And clearly, Teflon trouser suit girl Hillary would basically grab his policies by the neck and eke them out for another 4 years and then blame the previous incumbent, just as the previous incumbent did. Now, when it got down to a two-horse race and it was clear that Donald Trump would be the GOP nominee, I was forced to make a choice. I could, like so many other conservative friends, check a hissy fit because Cruz had not won the nomination and support a third-party runner, or God forbid, even Hillary. And on that reflection, that really was never an option, because a vote for anybody but Trump was really, in essence, a vote for Hillary. So it totally and utterly defeated the object. Now, I also heard some were saying that they would vote for Hillary as a protest to Trump, and that he wasn't even a conservative. But in fairness, I don't ever recall him professing that he was. And as for questioning whether he was still a Democrat he was running on the GOP docket. What more do you need to know? Do we need him to get a tattoo on his arm saying GOP? Now, in a way, it made things very simple, and I quickly came to a conclusion. It was clear and it was imperative for me to love America more than I disliked the elements of the candidate. Is Trump perfect? Heck no! But neither was any other candidate. And let's face it, Jesus is not running this year. So when I looked at Hillary and Donald side by side based upon track record, Donald didn't look so bad. There have been many things that Trump has said that I found abhorrent, but in fairness, to quote an 11-year-old, I'd rather deal with a few bad words than get bombed or get my head cut off. Out of the mouths of babes, say I. Hillary would do anything or say anything to get elected, and she carries a level of culpability regarding Benghazi in my book. Having the blood of my fellow countrymen on your hands is a definite turn-off for me. And that's before we even get to the email stuff. Then there are 400 million more reasons not to want Teflon Tessie Clinton as our POTUS. Yes, I'm referring to the fact that her department arranged for 400 million taxpayer dollars to be given to our sworn enemies. You know, the ones that want to kill us and our allies. Wake up, America. Hillary and Bill have been in bed with the terrorists for years and put personal profit above the safety of people like you and me. She has already indicated she wants to change freedom of speech laws, and another Clinton in the White House is one too many for me. Now, when I started to go public about choosing to support Donald Trump, I was subject to many forms of abuse. Now, being a talk show host, I'm thankfully pretty thick-skinned. Now, it started pretty slow with people retweeting negative things about the things I had said about Trump from 3 and 4 years ago. Big deal. I chose to comment on what I perceived to be negative comments from Donald Trump. Then people unfollowed me for my political position. People I'd known for 30 years blocked me for supporting him. I was told I had no self-respect unless I supported Trump, which in all honesty was so far from the truth. I was apparently insulting the LGBT community by supporting him. Get real. The gays have far more to fear from Hillary. She took donations from countries that kill gay people and throw them off buildings for merely being gay. Her support for this community has only occurred to get the gay vote. I had quite a public slanging match with the editor of the Huffington Post, Noah Michelson, who stated he didn't know if any gay people were actually truly supporting one. Ta-da! And I'm not even a Republican. He went into such a tirade of vitriol, criticizing me and my journalism and my right to an opinion. It was kind of like being back in high school. You know, that one friend who says you can't be friends with someone they dislike. His commentary was so abhorrent, even friends of mine from the board of Verizon who owned the liberal rag were disgusted with him. So when I pointed this out, he asked me if it was a threat and quickly backed down and said no more. I actually asked my friends not to take any further action against him, but they are monitoring the situation. What more can we expect from a professional homosexual who writes such text as an article which states gays should stop sleeping with Trump supporters in order to defeat him. Oh yes, Noah, that will stop them. Keep up that award-winning journalism. Come back, Ariana Huffington. All is forgiven. He even went as far as to state that the Huffington Post editorial position was that Trump is dangerous and must be stopped at all costs. I am sure my friends on the board of Verizon would have concerns with that statement, as they are Republicans. Good luck with your little tirade, Noah, because clearly yours or anyone else's friendship that does not allow for my personal perspective is not a friendship worth having. Bye, Felicia. In conclusion, I really want to clarify that point. Anyone who claims to be your friend and does not allow for your personal or political convictions was never your friend in the first place. I'm fully ensconced on this Trump train. Thanks so much to my friends for saving me a seat. So if me stumping for Trump means you cannot be my friend any longer, adios amigo, and good luck helping Teflon Tessie wipe the blood from her hands. That's it for Xander's Soapbox this week. If you'd like to get on your soapbox, you can send your videos of no longer than 5 minutes with no profanity via xandergibb.com/contact. That's xandergibb.com/contact. Oh yes, indeed. And now it's time for London Calling. On this week's London Calling, Jeff Kristian sends Soozi Chameleone to speak to Hayley Legs, a fire eater. Get your extinguishers at the ready. Let's check it out.
Hello America, London Calling.
They say actors should try to learn a new talent. Well, the fire breathing didn't go too well, which is why I prefer to stay near the River Thames. And the angle grinder was a bit of a disaster too. I didn't realise the little job stuff was on the wrong way up. Let's head to the experts, what will say Soozi.
Today we're here in London with the fabulous Hayley of fire breathing troupe Inferno. Hello Hayley.
Hi Soozi, how are you doing?
Oh, that was going to be my question. Yeah,
we could ask each other, that's perfectly acceptable.
Let's give it a go. I'm very well, how are you?
Good, thank you. Enjoying the surroundings here. Very rock and roll background.
Indeed, yeah, I think it's quite appropriate.
Yeah.
So, tell me, how was Inferno formed?
So it started out actually, 3 of us in the group. We'd already been in a group before that didn't do fire. We were called the Satanic Sluts.
Yeah, I remember you guys.
Yeah. There was some controversy and some like tabloid stuff that happened involving one of the girls, who then we sort of got her out, and then the 3 of us, we wanted to progress and do something a bit more impressive and something we can be a bit more proud of, and so we got a new girl in, Amy, and we started up in Inferno. That was must have been about 7 years ago.
Wow. Now that you've kind of created a troupe that you're proud of, what are your goals for the future from now? What would you like to do with the troupe from now onwards?
Well, things have kind of changed for us a bit in the time that we've been doing it. Like, we've all got a bit older. There's been a lot more rival groups on the scene. Sort of a lot of the new and interesting stuff, and a lot of copycat stuff, and everyone's kind of got to push and do something a bit different. So I think we've kind of done most of the stuff that we really love to do, all like the metal festivals, and they don't tend to even, like, now that there's so much competition, they tend to not even pay enough to kind of cover your travel nowadays. So we're probably going to move more to the corporate side of things, and that's a really fun, cool gig that comes along.
Cool. So yeah, that leads me nicely to my next question, actually. Yeah, you say you've done a lot of the big festivals already, so you've ticked a lot of boxes, hit a lot of goals there, which is great. But If there was one event that you'd love to do, or one artist you'd love to work with, collaboration or otherwise, who would that be? From your personal point of view, obviously.
I think that would probably have to be Rammstein.
Yeah.
I would absolutely love to perform with Rammstein, and I did actually suggest it to them repeatedly, and they just repeatedly chose to ignore me and just kind of pretend I hadn't said it. I think they like the attention on themselves a bit too much.
Thinking about those kind of jobs that you've done, what's the most unusual job that you've been booked on?
There's been all sorts, like we've been booked as three-breasted aliens doing jelly wrestling. That was one of our first gigs, or really odd corporate dues like the big companies like Microsoft and their garden parties, or all sorts of military kind of things. So I did one for Microsoft with a hanging archway where I was dressed as a fairy with a friend hanging from this like big green fairy tale looking archway, which I think we nearly died on that. It was so uncomfortable. It must have looked ridiculous as well. And Soul to Soul were playing in the background, of course, which is odd. But the latest really fun corporate one we did was Virgin Atlantic flew us out to Orlando, Florida to do some angle grinding on these electric guitar props we made outside Hard Rock Live, which was so much fun, really good.
Sounds great.
And we got a whole trip to Orlando out of it as well.
Bonus.
Yeah.
What's been your favourite show to date?
I'd say it was probably, it's so hard to choose. We've had so many really fun times. I think probably though, if I had to choose one, it would be the Devin Townsend Retinal Circus show at the Roundhouse. It was this big one-off event. It was sold out a year in advance, and it was like showing through his musical timeline, his musical history in the form of a circus show. So there was us and a few other performers like contortionists and silks and jugglers and midgets.
Wow.
Little people, sorry.
Dwarfs, I think.
And it was just such a great experience, and that's out on DVD.
And so lastly, any accidents, disasters on stage? You're working with fire.
Yeah, if you're playing with fire, you're going to get burnt, as they say. And yeah, that's absolutely true. Of course, you've got to do everything you can to make things as safe as possible. We've never had any accidents involving our surroundings or other people. And of course, we're insured for millions just in case that did happen. But yeah, we've managed to give ourselves a few little burns. I managed to burn both of my eyelids.
Oh my God.
You wear the false eyelashes and they get soaked in paraffin spray that inevitably falls back on you. And one time, a lit bit of paraffin managed to fly back, and well, 2 times actually, once each on each eyelid, fly back and set my eyelashes on fire and like burnt the hell out of my eyelids. So I looked like the Elephant Man for a few days after that. Yeah.
Oh dear.
And yeah, a few other things. Like I say, it's going to happen, but as long as you do your best to prevent it. And
exactly. So thank you so much, Hayley. It's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you, Soozi. The pleasure is all mine.
Thanks. That was really cheeky.
That's it for this week. Back to you in the studio, Xander.
That was London Calling with Jeff Kristian, Soozi Chameleone, and the fabulous Hayley Legs. London Calling is produced in association with Mr. Binks Media. Now it's time for Watch This Space. Hollywood reporter Betty Chipmonk loves the gossip and loves all things celeb. Let's check out her weekly breakdown of what's hot and what's not in Tinseltown. I give you the one, the only, the fabulous. Ladies, lock up your husbands. It's Betty Chipmonk.
Hello, you lucky people. Betty Chipmonk here with my weekly breakdown of the entire trashy tussle in Tinseltown. It's official. Patricia Arquette has gone mad. She spent the week accusing anybody who disagreed with her as a racist and mentioning the KKK and talking about white power all over Twitter. Alarming, to say the least. I miss her TV show medium, but clearly She now has an extra large ego and thinks we are buying it. That said, she supports underpaid women in Hollywood. Share that stash, Pepsi, and stop being a judgy-wudgy, preachy-weechy, okay? So, Tyga and Kylie Jenner are in the news again this week, and their on-again, off-again relationship is on this week. And to celebrate the upcoming 19th birthday of Kylie J, seems she has an early gift. No, I'm not talking as in talent, I'm talking as in a present. Now, we all know how untalented the Kardashians are, and actually they rely purely on their looks. On Saturday, the 26-year-old rapper gifted his girlfriend a Mercedes-Benz. Oh, Tiger, won't you buy me a Mercedes-Benz? So in a video he posted to Snapchat, Kylie Jenner films the black Maybach, which starts at around $189,000, and gushes over her new gift. Happy early birthday to me, she said. Yay, I love you, T. We are wondering if he's gonna ask for it back next time they break up next week. Never mind. Happy birthday, Kyle. It's payday time for all of you Taylor Swift fans out there. Looks like another Swift is making a name for themselves in Hollywood. Oh yes, I'm referring to her younger brother, Austin, who has part in an upcoming thriller, I.T., starring Pierce Brosnan, and the 26-year-old singer could not be more proud. She seems to be able to click her fingers and things happen for her, because in Hollywood, having a famous sibling or cleaning for the Kardashians not only guarantees you an acting role, but also a blue check mark on Twitter. Nepotism rules. So, Ozzy Osbourne as the mixtress, Michelle Pugh's life has changed dramatically in the few short months since her 4-year affair was revealed, making her a target for scrutiny and bullying, mainly at the hands of the rocker's bride and children, as you would imagine, one of whom she is now suing. I'm not asking for anyone's approval, but the difference between someone's disapproval and shaming, harassing publicly, that's verbal abuse, Pugh told the media this week. And she said everyone's entitled to their opinions, but you are not allowed to bully other people. The Bells. Ozzy and wife of 33 years, Sharon Osbourne, split in May after the revelation, but they are back on track, according to the singer. Ozzy currently has a sex addiction, which in non-clinical terms is called being a man. So Katy Perry is in the news again while vacationing in Sardinia, Italy, recently with her man, Orlando Bloom, or Lando as she calls him, enjoyed some couple time, including a beach picnic and some water sports. Orlando was naked most of the time. Photos are making for a host of jokes about size, shaking, and things in that realm. Now, we've seen them in the office here at Xandermonium, and we have a new nickname for him. Oh yes, it's Fails to Bloom. But let's face it, Katie, if you get to marry Lando, you will be K-Bloom. Kaboom! Get it? Oh well, never mind. Xander, it is back to you in the studio.
Thanks to Betty Chipmonk for her personal perspective on Hollywood today. What a varied plethora of topics, Betty. Make sure you follow Betty. She's apparently going to be on social media very soon. And now it's time for Ask Xander. So apparently I took a little bit too much time in Soapbox today, and Claude says we only have time for 2 questions. So what a bossy boots, we better get right home with it. Question 1 comes from Claire in Danbury, who wants to know if I've been watching the Olympics and do I think Michael Phelps should be allowed to compete? No, Claire, not been watching. And yes, of course, Michael Phelps should be allowed to compete. Can't keep punishing people for mistakes over and over. Everyone needs a fresh start. So good luck to you out there, Michael Phelps, and good luck to Team USA. We are sending you our best from everyone here at Xandermonium. Now, the last question is from Mike from New Fairfield, who wants to know if I recycle. Yes, I actually absolutely do recycle. I was at a point once when I didn't think it made a difference, but I got to thinking of how much of a difference it would make if we all actually got our acts into gear and recycle stuff. Oh yes, sirree. Do you recycle, Claude? You do? No, not cycle as in riding a bike, as in do you go through your garbage and make sure the stuff that can be reused is sent to different places. Ugh, I give up. Oh, please, why can't I go and work up somewhere else? That's it for today's episode of Xandermonium. Don't forget to join my mailing list at xandergibb.com and follow us on social media. Thanks to Jeff, Kristian, Soozi, Chameleone, and Hayley, Legs, and Squad, and everyone in the universe and everyone who watched the show today. Keep sending us your questions and comments and videos. Thanks for watching and stay cool. And we'll see you next time on Xandermonium. I love you all. Bye-bye.
Pirates, yes, they rob I. Sold I to the merchant ship. Minutes after they took I from the bottomless pit. But my head was held up by the hand of the Almighty. Ooh, move forward in this generation. See you all next time. Love, it has been good to me this time around. Things they were bound to change when it was found. Sugar never tasted sweeter on my lips. My heart is now intact and I can find no ribs.